Yo, what is up, sexy beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today we're going to be doing the top 5 most forgettable weapons in zombies, so let's go ahead and get this shit started. So a subscriber by the name of Nathan McPhee actually gave me this idea. He said do a top 10, but I really couldn't think of 10 weapons that are kind of forgettable in zombies, so I decided to do a top 5. And being on this list doesn't necessarily mean that the weapon is good, that the weapon is bad, that the weapon is loved by the community, that the weapon is hated by the community. It just means weapons that you really wouldn't remember if someone said, hey, tell me every single weapon in zombies. These weapons you might kind of just skip over. And it really all kind of comes down to my opinion and sort of is kind of related to how I play zombies. You might actually remember some of these weapons fairly well, and some of you guys might not even know they existed. That's just because of how you play zombies, and everyone might have their own experiences. So let's get into number 5. Coming in number 5 is going to be the MPL. Now the reason the MPL is on this list is because it is only relevant for me in one map, and that is Call of the Dead. The only time I ever buy this weapon isn't Call of the Dead, or unless I'm just trying to fuck around and have some fun in some other maps. But Call of the Dead is the only time I ever buy this MPL. In Kino, I always just skip straight over it, go to the AK-74U. In Ascension, it had a terrible wall location. It was right there in the bottom of Jug, where the quick revive door is, and no one ever opened that door in Ascension. We always went the other way, so really didn't have much going for it right there. And literally every other map, you kind of just skipped over it and went to the next weapon because it was either going to be the MP40 or the AK-74U, or you're going to have a box location. So really the MPL never had a chance besides in Call of the Dead. I feel like in Call of the Dead, that's where it shined. That's where the MPL was at its height, and then after that, it kind of just went straight downhill. So that's why I decided to put it at number 5 on this list. So coming in number 4 is going to be the FAL from Black Ops 2, not Black Ops 1. The reason why I'm specifying the Black Ops 2 version is because when Black Ops 2 first launched, there were so many new things that we were discovering that just seeing the FAL in the box isn't really going to be that exciting. The FAL wasn't really that good of a weapon, especially on high rounds. It really poops out. It's a single shot. They renamed it to the FAL, not the FN FAL. And compared to all the other new weapons and compared to all the other good weapons, the FAL really never stood a chance on Black Ops 2, and that's kind of why it just got overshadowed by everything else. We have all this new, cool, really powerful stuff, and then you bring back the FAL, which was a okay weapon. It really doesn't make a name for itself. It really doesn't stand out, so that's why it's kind of forgettable. Alright, so taking the number 3 spot is going to be the Scoped Car and Nocturne Totem. So a lot of people might not know about this weapon, and a lot of people might be like, oh, I love that weapon. That's why it's kind of on this list, and at number 3 is because I feel like a lot of the community might know about this weapon, and the rest of the community might not even know this weapon existed. So the Scoped Car is only available in Nocturne Totem. You have to get it from this cabinet upstairs, and it's really, really bad. Like, it's not a good weapon whatsoever. So if you're an old-time World of War fan, if you've been here since the beginning, you might actually have really fond memories of this weapon, but if you kind of joined in any other game, or even hell, in Varuk, Shinonuma, or Darish, you might not even know about this weapon's existence, and that's why it's on number 3. So taking the number 2 spot is going to be the sawed-off double-barrel shotgun, not the just double-barrel shotgun, the sawed-off version, which is available in a couple maps in World of War. But the reason I think this weapon isn't that widely known is just because 1, you have the regular double-barrel shotgun, and 2, it wasn't on Darish. I feel like whenever you think of World at War, you immediately go to Darish because that was the only map with Pack Punch. And having a weapon that's on some other maps and not on Darish is a real downside to that weapon because it's probably not even going to be remembered. Because if it's not on Darish, you can't Pack Punch it, therefore no one really cares about it. And that's kind of the feeling I get with the double-barrel shotgun. I remember using it all the time in Nocturne Totem. It was a pretty fun weapon to use, but as soon as you get to Darish and you have the regular just double-barrel shotgun, it kind of overshadows the other one and just makes it non-existent. So that's why I think the double-barrel shotgun is definitely number 2. Now if you've seen my previous video about the most forgettable weapon in zombies, you're going to know that the number 1 spot definitely belongs to the PM63. I feel like the PM63 is the most forgettable weapon in zombies. Either you know about it and you just never used it, or you got no fucking clue this weapon existed, probably because it wasn't that good, its locations were absolutely terrible, it was usually followed by a good weapon like the AK-74U or the MP40, and did I also mention it wasn't that good? Even when you upgrade it, it's still a bad weapon. Like a lot of other Black Ops 1 weapons, this thing had no chance in hell. So those are the top 5 most forgettable weapons in zombies, and I'm very curious to know what's your top 5, so if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.